This conversation is on Facebook now. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. It shouldn't have gone live until 6, so I must have done something wrong, but
Paula.
I'm glad we haven't said anything terrible. All right, so good evening. My name is Amy Nijkamp, and I am the current president of the Sonoma County Chapter of the National Organization for Women. Thank you for joining us to celebrate Women's Equality Day. And now it's being recorded. Yes, that has to happen in the middle of my speech. The date today marks the 101st year since the 19th Amendment passed. While we may all legally be able to vote, we still have a long way to go to be considered equal. The Equal Rights Amendment still has not been passed in Congress, and there are too many efforts now being made to remove the rights we have gained. Tonight, we honor more than a dozen leaders in Sonoma County, dedicating themselves to actively improving the lives of women and the underprivileged. You will hear each of them speak to their passion, what hot topics we should focus our efforts on as an organization and as individuals in this community. We chose these particular leaders because they all appear in the Centennial calendar our chapter produced for 2020. Our calendar has just been given a gold resolution by the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors, and the approval occurred on August 24th, just in time for our celebration. This event would not have been possible without the idea by our own June Brechers, who had this last month, and for the tremendous efforts by each of our board members, Rebecca, Eileen, and of course, Elaine, to reach out to promote it. Pat Sabo, the chair of the Sonoma County Democrats, really put the word out, and we give her special thanks. Pat, I understand you want to say a few words?
Yeah, I was asked, one of the people that you have honored in the Centennial calendar was a mentor, a great human being, and Liz Basile. And Liz was, I just wanted to say some words. You know, we lost Liz in, was it 5 years ago now? And Liz was an educator. She was a teacher. She taught high school and drama at Casa Grande. Liz was an incredibly strong Democrat, and Liz was a voice for women. And I will tell you this, if you ever met Liz, she may have been small of stature, but this woman was an absolute warrior. She would take on anyone and anything when she believed strongly in something. And I watched her take on boisterous men who thought that they could just shout people down. And in this little in stature, I say little, and I have to emphasize that because this woman was a monster elsewise. And I just, you know, I can't say enough. She was a mentor for me. I am also a lifelong educator. I can remember when Liz reached that point in her life where she could no longer drive herself, but yet was still actively engaged in campaigns around this county, doing phone banking, doing postcarding, attending meetings. We took turns picking Liz up, and we had some of the most marvelous conversations that I can remember having were with Liz. And I remember when Hillary Clinton received the nomination for president. Liz was absolutely, hard to imagine Liz being speechless, but she almost reached that point. And those of us that knew Liz, we are who we are thanks to her type of mentorship. And I really oftentimes wonder and think we look around and we're here to honor so many who are so deserving. And it always brings to mind, as an educator, I used to tell my students this: if you accomplish anything in life that you accomplish, remember that it is because you have stood on the shoulders of giants. And I think that is hopefully what this is all about. Remembering that we are where we are because of who preceded us. And they laid that foundation, and they have given us the power and the strength to make sure that we do the same for the next generation and the generation after that. So I just wanted to speak in honor of Liz, and I wanted to thank the National Organization of Women Sonoma County for putting out that beautiful calendar. And I look out here and I got to tell you right now, I got joy in my heart when I see all these beautiful faces and know so many of you and your history. And Gaye may not remember this, but Gaye, I took a class of yours to earn to earn more money as a teacher. But it was the greatest class I ever took, because oftentimes we would take these courses just to move up the salary schedule. Not with you. That was a bonus. We did it because we were learning so much. So I really thank you. And of course, my good friend, Elaine Holtz, and I see so many of you out there. And I have to do one more shout out, because, you know, I was taught very early that even though you may not want to involve yourself in politics, politics has involved itself in you. So I want to give a shout out to our district attorney, Jill Ravitch, and let's make sure that we all get up and vote no on this absolute criminal that's been presented. And you know, I think that don't kid yourself. This is a recall against a woman district attorney. So please don't kid yourself about that. And shout out to one of our quote unquote younger generation here, our supervisor, 5th District, Linda Hopkins. You're doing great work. You're carrying on a tremendous banner here. And thank you so much for all that you are doing. And to my good friend, of course, Sandy Reynolds, for everything that you do. So I'm done. I'm sure I went over my 3-minute allotment. I thank each and every one of you, and I will apologize. I do have another Zoom meeting coming up, so I will have to leave early, but I'm going to stay on as long as I can.
Well, thank you, Pat, and well said on all counts. So our first speaker this evening is our chapter's immediate past president, Elaine B. Holtz. For decades, Elaine has devoted her life to the National Organization for Women and to ensuring our local leaders are recognized and praised for their work in the community. Elaine is the creator and host of the radio program Women's Spaces on KBBF 89.1 FM and has interviewed hundreds of women over the 4 decades Women's Spaces has been on the air. Elaine, we honor you this evening for your work. And will you tell us about the history of the calendar's production and who was behind the scenes?
Well, first of all, I want to piggyback on what Pat said about Liz. Liz was my mentor, I'll tell you. She got me back to be a Democrat. She wouldn't let me live, and in fact, till I signed that registration again. Anyway, I just want to welcome everybody. It's so exciting that we're all together. I mean, we are on so many levels, the movers and shakers here in Sonoma County as far as women go. And also, I want to say one thing again about go on the piggyback with what Pat Sable said about Jill Ravitch. I mean, as I met Jill when she first ran, I remember I walked up to her at the No Name group and I said, "Oh my God, a woman district attorney." I was so excited. And this is not fair what's happening to her. I mean, I'm sure that we, no district attorney is perfect. We all have disagreements, but this is a revenge recall, and don't take revenge on her for something that maybe she did in the past or whatever it is. Look at what is happening now. We cannot let money take over and get rid of our good politicians here in our community. So what I'm going to do is I am going to tell the story about what happened with the calendar, how we put it together. When I first approached Supervisor Hopkins, who I just admire so much, about the fact that 100 years was happening and that we have to do something, and she really worked very hard. We got a group together, we worked hard, and somehow things didn't gel. The group kind of went in different directions. And here we were now trying to figure out, what are we going to do? We had the idea of getting the trolley, and we were going to rent little spaces out. You'd ride the trolley and you'd have the name of your nonprofit on it. And then we thought, well, we'll do a musical or we'll do something. We couldn't figure it out. And then I don't know how it evolved, But suddenly this calendar came up. And when the calendar came up, I said, you know, this is a great idea. Let's do it. And I literally practically forced everybody to take a vote that this is what we were going to do. And I said, don't worry, I'll handle it. I'll take care of it. Well, I went out and I started getting bids, how much it print the thing. And before I knew it, I would have to do a fundraiser before I would even begin production. And I thought, how am I going to do this? I mean, I had to raise almost $2,000. I said, wait a minute. You know, I started thinking, how am I going to do this? I started asking my guides, and all of a sudden this idea came in my mind. Oh, I'm writing for the Sonoma County Gazette. I'll call Vesta and I'll ask her if she will print the calendar with her run of the paper, figuring that this is a good way for me to save money. Well, how do you think Vesta responds? She goes, oh my God, I've been pulling my hair out. I want to do something for the Centennial. I don't know what to do. She says, this is perfect. We're going to do it. I says, you mean you're going to give me the money? She says, no, I've got trade credits. I says, you got trade credits? She says, yes, you know, it's the barter group. I forget the name. When Bess is on, maybe she'll tell us what the name is. And so anyway, to make a long story short, the printer agreed to do it. And not only did he agree to do it, but he was actually a student of Elsie Island. And so what happened was he oversaw the calendar. He made sure the print was perfect. He made sure the ink was perfect. He said, this is not going to get out of here without it being perfect. And then I didn't want to be a top-down manager. So what I decided to do, let everybody do it. But of course, the last minute, I decided to do an overview, and I discovered Jill Ravitch's name is not on there. And I flipped. I couldn't believe it. I said, wait a minute. I said to my partner, Rebecca Dawn, by the way, I missed one part. I went to our meeting and told us I got the funding, but I said, we got to hire a graphic artist. And Rebecca says, well, what about me? I says, well, what about you? She says, I can do it. And Rebecca was the one that put the calendar together. I took care of all the sidebars. She took care of all the pictures and layout and everything. Amazing. But anyway, back to what happened with Jill. We called the printer and he literally stopped the press to make sure that we made the correction, and we were able to do it. And so that's how we got the calendar going. And it was amazing. I went out into the community. I want to thank the Democratic Club, the Democrat Santa Rosa Democratic Club. We sold many calendars to their members. And it was so interesting because all of a sudden I said, well, how are we going to do this? How are we going to take credit cards? The woman sitting at the desk at the Democratic meeting said, don't worry about it. We'll run the credit cards and we'll send you the money. And I mean, it was just magical. And so here we are in 2021. You know, we were grateful that we were able to get it out in time because, as you know, the pandemic just stopped everything. And there were some events, you know, I need to do. She's not here today, but I need to do a real big shout out for Leslie Graves. She was part of the original group that gathered together, and we did have several events. And then when the pandemic happened, everything just stopped. And so that's my story. And I think this is a proud moment. And then when I got a hold of Linda, when I called Linda and left her a message, actually I talked to her assistant, Elsie, which I never worked with a woman as kind or as patient. I mean, we sent her probably 15 different copies of what the resolution might look like. And we had so many copies, we didn't know which copy was the original at some point. But she was really absolutely wonderful. So I really want to thank and really acknowledge Linda Hopkins for being here, for helping us get the gold resolution done, and for honoring us in this way. And I also want to close by saying it's been my honor to be president for 5 years. And I am so thrilled that Amy came along and that we were able to vote her in. And she's already done things. She's already improved the chapter. And the most important thing is not only are we here to gather, but we're also here to remind you we need more more active members, and we need more young people joining. You know, now is a national organization, and it's still strong. We have almost 300,000 members nationally. So it's still strong. It's still a good, viable organization, and it's been my honor to serve. And now I'm treasurer. I can't even balance my own bank account. I'm being the treasurer, so thank you. So now I'm going to just turn it over, or do you want to introduce her to Linda Hopkins, who is going to read the resolution? And I have it right here. I got it in the mail, so I'll show it to everybody. Oh, here it is. It came in the mail. Here it is, and I'm so proud of this moment. Can everybody see it?
Sure. Huh.
So thank you, Linda. Thank you for making this possible. You're just wonderful on so many levels.
That's wonderful. And thank you, Elaine. You did so much. You continue to do so much for our chapter. And without your help and support, it would be a lot harder to be president right now. So thank you very much. So yes, I am pleased to introduce Supervisor Linda Hopkins, who spearheaded the effort to pass the gold resolution for us. She served District 5 since January 2017, and during that period has dealt with the effects of fires and floods while actively working to address critical quality of life issues related to affordable housing, homelessness, road repair, environmental protection, and rural community representation, among many others. And Linda, we honor you this evening. Will you please read the gold resolution for us and then give us your thoughts on what you wanted to say tonight?
Thank you so much. It is my great honor to present this gold resolution on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of the County of Sonoma to honor the National Organization for Women Sonoma County Chapter for its historic calendar celebrating the centennial of the 19th Amendment. And I'm just going to warn you, there are a lot of whereases, so I might need to take a breath in between each of them. Bear with me. And then I do have a few thoughts to share about the wonderful women that surround me on this Zoom tonight. Whereas the National Organization for Women Sonoma County Chapter was founded in 1988 to take action through intersectional grassroots activism to promote feminist ideals, lead societal change, eliminate discrimination, and achieve and protect the equal rights of all women and girls in all aspects of social, political, and economic life. And whereas Women's Equality Day is celebrated in the United States on August 26th to commemorate the 1920 adoption of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which prohibits the states and the federal government from denying the right to vote to citizens of the United States on the basis of sex. The National Organization for Women Sonoma County Chapter celebrated the centennial anniversary of the 19th Amendment on this August 26, 2020. And whereas the team of Elaine B. Holtz, former president of the National Organization for Women Sonoma County Chapter, Rebecca Dwan, calendar designer extraordinaire, Vesta Copestakes, former publisher of the Sonoma County Gazette, Larry Jacobs, the printer of the calendar, who allowed us to stop the presses when we discovered an error, and researchers from the Sonoma County History and Genealogy Library produced a commemorative calendar acknowledging local women leaders as well as feminists past and present upon whose shoulders we stand. And whereas this calendar honors the women both nationally and locally who came before us and showed us by example what is possible. Honoring their accomplishments gives us confidence that we too can contribute and be valued. And whereas the publication and distribution of such a historic document, the Centennial Calendar, honors the accomplishments of these inspiring women and also serves to motivate future leaders to action going forward with the goal of bringing women into full participation in society, sharing equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities with men. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors does hereby recognize the National Organization for Women Sonoma County Chapter Calendar as a historic document. So thank you all for your work. And I just wanted to take a few brief moments to share some thoughts. And as I was looking at this absolutely beautiful screen before me of all of these inspiring female leaders in our community, I thought, what is it that draws us together? What is the common thread? And what struck me actually was the willingness of every single woman on here to speak truth to power, to stand up for what they believe in, to stand up for their principles, and to stand up for one another. And in so doing, in speaking truth to power, many of the women in this Zoom room have themselves assumed positions of power and leadership. But make no mistake, when you assume a position of leadership and you are still willing to speak truth to power, that can sometimes come back to you. And so I just want to say a special acknowledgement to one of the most hardworking, principled, disciplined, public servants that I know, Jill Ravitch, and acknowledge that, we need to vote no on this recall, because what you are doing is you're being punished for speaking truth to power and for doing your job. And that's absolutely absurd. I also want to acknowledge the gifts of some of the other women that I so admire on the screen. Elaine, I don't think that there is anyone better at bringing people together and just sort of inspiring folks through the cross-pollination of ideas. Your passion is contagious, and I think that it drives us all forward. Alicia, you have been speaking truth to power and, most importantly, forging relationships with our Spanish-speaking community for decades. And, in many ways, our local government has completely lagged behind your fantastic work. And so you have forged a path for all of us to follow. And we have certainly leaned on your leadership and your knowledge in trying to implement change in county government. Vesta, you empower others and attend more meetings than anyone I know. The creation of the Gazette and the uplifting of community voices, which have allowed many local leaders a platform that they never thought was possible, is amazing. Gloria, I haven't gotten the opportunity to work with you, but I have long admired your work in South County. And I remember reading an article about you, I think from a few years ago. And what you were quoted then, which I think was a quote from a friend of yours, was, "If not you, then who?" And that is such a beautiful saying. And I feel like that is really the ethos of the women here today, is if not you, then who? And I just want to end up by thanking so much Pat Sabo, because, a school teacher, right, that taught my sister-in-law and is absolutely a force of nature in local democratic politics and a driving force for change. And if that isn't something that can inspire future generations, then I don't know what is. And I know I haven't covered everyone because there are so many amazing, inspiring women here tonight, but I just wanted to end on that note of gratitude, which is that we are stronger together. And the more we recognize one another's strengths and diversities and different backgrounds and different experiences, the faster we can propel change. So thank you all so much. And remember, no on the recall, both of them. And if you can contribute to Jill's campaign, I think I can say that because this is non-government time. There's a campaign for that. So thank you all so much tonight.
Thank you, Linda. Boy, that was a great speech. And our next speaker, I am pleased and honored to have with us Lynn Woolsey, who, as you all know, served as our United States representative from 1993 to 2013. Her political career began right here in Petaluma in 1984 when she was elected to the city council there, and served there until 1992 when she then ran for the U.S. House of Representatives. Lynn's focus was on those issues facing women and children. Lynn, we thank you for being here tonight. And what would you like to say to our members?
Well, I'd like to say thank you for being here. What an honor to be with this group. And thank you, Amy, for being the chair of this wonderful NOW chapter. And thank you now for who you are. Not only here, but nationwide. I have a story about NOW. NOW was the first and only national organization that endorsed me when I first ran for my first primary for Congress. And then they were the first national organization to endorse me after I'd won and in the general election. And of course, others followed them, but not in great groups, that everybody had to learn who Lynn Woolsey was and could they trust her. But NOW was it, and you have always been my friend, and I've so liked in having a relationship with the organization. Now, as you said, I was 4 years on the Sonoma County Commission on the Status of Women, and I chaired it for a few years. And I was 8 years on the City Council and 20 years in Congress. So you have to know I have some opinions. So that's what I thought I'd do today. I really will agree with every single thing all of you say tonight and everything we've all stood for all these years. But I have 6 bold steps that I think if this country doesn't address and doesn't get behind, none of what we want to do is going to happen. I mean, we can We can tweak around the edges. We can, as Democrats, be better than the Republicans. As women, be more caring than some of the men, most of the men. But we're not going to really accomplish and make change in this country unless we do some really bold things. The first one for me of the 6 is we must get money out of politics. And my example there is no other than our wonderful Jill Ravitch. One man who has a grudge and is wealthy can put this county and you through that mess. I mean, and that's because of money. If he didn't have money, he couldn't have done that. And and of course, we know the Supreme Court making corporations equal to a human ruined everything as far as fundraising in politics. So that has to change. 2, we have to begin educating our kids to learn to analyze, to think, to consider, to measure what's going on and to study, because without it, Fox News is going to be able to take over half the country like they do right now. 3rd, we have to do something about voting. We have one man, one person, one vote. We think we have a democracy. We are not going to. We are going to lose our democracy if we don't do things like do away with the filibuster, take a really hard look at the Electoral College. Why do we have that Electoral College? I mean, that was way back. It's not necessary now. But we have to make certain that every single person can vote and that their vote counts. 4th, we have to learn from history. If there's one thing I wish I'd done more, well, I wish there's lots of things I wish I'd done differently, but I wish I'd known a lot more about history when I became a congressperson, because you learn from your past and you learn from the past of others. And if we don't know history, if we don't teach our kids history, if they don't hear what went on before and learn about it, we're going to just keep repeating our same mistakes over and over and over again. 5th, and Linda's off now, but we have to listen to our younger generation. And we have to start listening to them now, because they are our future. And I've said over and over and over again since Linda was elected, Linda Hopkins is one of our main politicians for the future of Sonoma County. And then 6th and finally, and then I'll drop my rant here. I think we have to bring the fairness doctrine back. The doctrine that says if your media can talk about one kind of politics, they have to leave room for the other kind to come through. That would do away with lying. People have to stop lying on the media and in the media. The fairness doctrine disappeared just before I got to Congress. And it's been proven over and over again that it was very important to have the fairness doctrine for our democracy. So, I mean, those are just a few of the big things we need to do, but I think it's big and bold, and the most important thing we have to do is make sure we have a real democracy in this country we live in. And tweaking around the edges ain't gonna do it. So we've got to find a way to make this country more secure. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having let me do what I did for 20 years. And I love living in this community. I want to say one more thing about Jill. When I opened my ballot, I did not know that you were going to be on the other side. Well, I know it, but somebody's got to, I tell everybody I know, and they all go, oh yeah, they're surprised. So I wish somebody could get out there and say something about that publicly, because people could miss it. And you're going to win, but I want you to win with every single vote that ever happened. Okay, thank you, everybody.
And thank you so much. You can see there's people applauding. I'm sorry you can't hear most of that. But yes, I do have the pleasure of addressing the Honorable Jill Ravitch, the Sonoma County District Attorney. But you may not know that he's the first female DA in our county and has served in that capacity since 2011. Jill has had many successes during her tenure. She opened the Family Justice Center to help victims of abuse, whether they be children, elders, or other family members. She leads the Human Trafficking Task Force, serves on a number of boards in an advisory position, and is an adjunct professor teaching criminal law to first-year students at Empire Law School. Jill, what would you like to say tonight?
There, I think I'm unmuted. First, I'd like to say, if you're all like me, you hear that expression at least a dozen times a day. You're muted as we try and work our way through this Zoom existence. But I am just so overwhelmed with the support from all of you who I so admire, and I appreciate your kind words. I am truly, and if you don't mind me saying this, a shitstorm. And so hearing these kind words, it really means a lot to me, and I want to thank you for that. But this isn't about me. This is about now. This is about the incredible power of women like Lynn Woolsey, who I so admire, who I'm following up after, like Elaine Holtz, who is a wonderful forum for women, like Alicia Sanchez, who gave me the opportunity to speak truth on her radio station. Vesta, I mean, all of you, it's amazing to me, the power, the commitment, and the unity of energy in this room. And Pat Sabo, oh my God, what a force to be contended with. I mean, this woman, she doesn't know where the off button is on her body. So, and of course, Gaye, I mean, I am in awe of Gaye LeBaron and all that she does for our community. I know I'm missing others. And it's not really about me honoring you. It's about us recognizing the place of women. I'm honored to be the first woman elected DA. I was one of 12 out of 58. When I took office, I'm one of the only gay district attorneys in the state. And I think what I'm passionate about, because Amy, thank you for inviting me to speak to that, is women rising up to places of leadership. And I follow what Lynn said about the next generation. I'm on my way out, hopefully not as soon as some people would like, but I do think that we need to find new leadership in places of power in our community, because not only do they bring new, fresh ideas, new perspectives, but they also inspire children. And really, I would be out of work if we did a better job in our schools, which is not to say you didn't, Pat, or any of you other educators, but we need to focus on what's happening with our kids. And I was lucky, my parents put education first. I think that we as women leaders, can educate kids, women, children, to understand the empowerment that comes with seeking positions of leadership in our community. So the only other thing I would say is it's been an honor to open the Family Justice Center that Amy mentioned. Many of you are familiar with it. We're celebrating our 10th year. Since we opened. Some of you joined us at the opening. I hope you will join us at our open house on October 6th. We're going to put a lot of effort into letting people see the wonderful work that we've been able to do in spite of fires, pandemics, floods, and all else that's happened. We've served thousands upon thousands of clients, and to see them move from the darkness of victimization to the light of survivorship as they thrive and come back into the community and give back, to me, that is something that I've been passionate about and that I'm really proud to have been able to make possible in our county. So I just want to thank you all so much. Yeah, tell everybody to turn the darn ballot over and stop looking at the 47 names that you don't really recognize anyway. I hope to see you after September 14th and celebrate with you the recognition that truth to power really is something that we believe in and that we support. So Amy, thank you very much for letting me join you tonight.
Helps if I unmute myself. Goodness. Thank you for joining us, Jill. And I'm really.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
Amy, you're muted. Oh.
That's odd. I'm the host. I shouldn't have to unmute. Anyway, I don't know if you, Jill, if you heard that, but I want to say thank you. And I voted already. And so I urge everybody to, if you haven't turned in your ballots, go Jill. Our next speaker is Molly Murphy McGregor, a founder of the National Women's History Project, which now is the National Women's History Alliance, on which she still serves. The NWHA was formed in Santa Rosa in 1980. Molly was instrumental in having the month of March be designated as National Women's History Month, and she's worked to preserve the history of what women have accomplished, to educate others about these leaders, and to celebrate their successes. Molly, we thank you for being here tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and I'm really sorry that I don't know how to focus this machine, but sorry, I've always been kind of outside the lines. I would like to begin by calling out the names of the women who built the foundation of the National Women's History Project with me. Mary Ruth's daughter, who has passed, Betty Morgan, who has passed, and yet their work continues to be built upon every single day in terms of their spirit being so much with us. Maria Cuevas is still very much with us, as is Paula Hammett. It's just that their work has gone on in a different avenue. But I want to start from the very beginning to talk about what it means to work with a group of people that you trust and build upon. Lynn and Gloria were both commissioners when I was just the staff person at the Commission on the Status of Women. So they know what I'm talking about. It was always a group effort to bring forth the ideas of what we mean by women's history and why isn't it taught and what does it mean. This discussion about Jill tonight is absolutely quintessential to women's history, because one of the things that women's history combats is misogyny. And that's what we're dealing with on an ongoing level, whether we realize it or not. Respecting women changes the world. It changes everything. We make different decisions. And so that's what the field of women's history is about. It's not about some academic pursuit or even knowing the names of some of the people who preceded us, but it is building on their spirit, their passion, their knowledge base that allows us to do the things we are here to do. So I want to thank all of you. I know some of you very, very well. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support that you have given to build the women's history movement. We just were in Washington, D.C. and having our very last National Honorees Luncheon. The National Women's History Alliance will continue, but we are now asking local groups and local agencies to honor the women within their own groups rather than having a national recognition of individual honorees. The National Women's History Project became the National Women's History Alliance 3 years ago because the numbers of women's history organizations has grown exponentially. It's dazzling, the kinds of things that happen for suffrage and for the Centennial. The resources that are out there just abound. And what we want is we want to be able to let people know that. We want to show them the strategies of how you do it, what works, what might not work. And I guess I'm not going to say very much more because I talk all the time and I'd like to leave as much time for questions as possible. But one of the things I would like to say is that we're living through really difficult times, as you all know, and we need each other more than ever. But one of the things I'd also like to ask you to do is, as we engage with people who are ignorant and ill-informed, that instead of telling them how ignorant and ill-informed they are, we will ask them, what do they mean by that? When people say something that's sexist, homophobic, racist, or whatever, instead of telling them they're racist, homophobe, ask them instead what they meant by it. Because one of the things we have to do is we have to figure out a way, I mean, and Lynn alluded to this, we have to figure out a way to get past the lies. We have to figure out a way to help people become more informed. Oops, that's what I was afraid of. Before, you know, they can't be the enemy, I guess is what I'm saying. And I know those of you that have known me forever think, oh, is that the Molly McGregor who was always in people's faces? Yes, I was. And it was a mistake. And what I want to say now is, let's ask the question. But more than anything, let's respect each other and know that we're all in this together. And the only reason we can do the things we do is because we have each other. And thank you to Now for all the work you've done, pioneering work from the get-go. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Molly, thank you. Such a treasure. And now we'll turn to Gaye LeBaron. You will recognize this Press Democrat columnist who has for the last 6 decades written about and preserved our local history through some, can you believe this, 8,000 columns.
Oh,
Gaye has a talent for bringing to life stories that might otherwise remain unknown. She has collected so much material that the Sonoma State University Library has a collection of hers of over 12,000 documents. And that doesn't count what she has on the digital website that they produce, this digital collection. So Gaye, what would you like to say to us this evening?
Well, saying how many columns I've written and how hard work makes me think I like just, say night and go to bed. But I want to talk a little bit about women's history, because this is a big topic, and when we're talking about, women's history comes to us in layers. So we're talking about now the women's movement, the amendment. Those of us who've taken a close look at just a small area like Sonoma County, which has been what I've looked at for a long, long time through these years, we could tell you stories of crazy old ladies who stood in the middle of 4th Street and beat on the hoods of these newfangled automobiles with their canes, so that to get them off the street because they felt so strongly about it. This was a woman activist in that time. Or the overachievers, like the woman who came here every year from Kentucky, pick hops, because she always won the hop picking contest, and that was important to her. That a woman could beat men. Some were serious, very serious. The Women's Christian Temperance Union and the suffragettes, who in many ways had some of the same agenda. I mean, the whole idea of the alcoholic husband, the suffragettes and the WCTU together combined to bring us prohibition, which was not the smartest thing that either of them have ever done, those organizations. But it made a very strong point, and it did change things. Women may well have held this country together during the Depression years. When you think about it, mothers are not people who give up easily. And Rosie the Riveter's another story. Put her on the plus side until the war was over and she was sent home to make room for the GIs who needed jobs. So it's been an up and down, back and forth. I can speak, until I can speak about the 50s because I was there. And I was in a profession where you didn't have a lot of women, and those who were in it were usually relegated to the society pages. every newspaper, when I went to work for the Press Democrat in 1955, every newspaper that I knew around me, including the Examiner and the Chronicle, the big ones in the city, had one woman who was a reporter. Of all the reporters, one woman each. And the only reason I got a job at the PD was because the woman who worked here had gone to the Examiner. So it was just lucky. And it was that way all the way through the 50s and into the 60s, but by the 70s, I worked at home for a couple of years when my kids were little in the 70s or younger. And by the time I got back to the office, it was half women. And now I think, I'm not sure because we don't all go into the same office together and I haven't counted, but I suspect that there's more women than men down there by looking at bylines. So, I can't give you an exact date that the industry changed, but it changed. And Kathy Barnett, who just retired, was the first woman executive editor of the paper and did us proud with a Pulitzer Prize. And in the years that I've looked at the Santa Rosa scene, if you want to call it that, or the county scene, I can state what is obvious to all of us, I think, that women doctors have increased. There are 3 or 4 I think there were 4 in the 1950s who were women doctors, and now look at the numbers. I wouldn't even know what it was. And the women lawyers were scarcer in the 50s, very scarce actually. And there used to be organizations like the Medical Auxiliary and the lawyers' wives. And those organizations, we don't have them anymore because either you had to let the men join the lawyers' wives or you had to give up the whole thing. So, we've watched these organizations that we jokingly referred to as the Proud Wives Group, and we've seen them go away. And these are just baby steps compared to what's happened in the last 2 decades. And what now has been so much involved in here, and listening to all the people who have talked already, it's a proud thing to be associated with all of you. And thank you for asking.
Thank you, Gaye. You really know so much about this county. We could pick your brain for hours and hours and days and not come to the end. So we appreciate you coming on and your remarks. So our next speaker is Gloria Robinson. She founded the Petaluma Blacks for Community Development organization back in 1978. And she served, as Molly mentioned, on the Commission of the Status of Women. She's lived in Petaluma since 1970 and is known for her leadership skills. And I will let Gloria talk more about this organization and any other remarks she wants to make. Gloria?
Good evening.
Evening.
I would like to thank the Sonoma County Now for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this great evening. The 101 anniversary of the 19th Amendment and the 2020 calendar with national and local sheroes. It's a lot of you wonderful sheroes out there, and I'm so proud to be here with you all tonight. One of my accomplishments in Sonoma County, the organizing of a group, Petaluma Blacks for Community Development. My family and I moved to Petaluma in 1970. When I arrived, I didn't see many people that looked like me. I have 4 children and the schools have the same, not many kids of color. So one day, my youngest son that was in kindergarten came home excited because a new boy of color was in his class. And it was like, wow, to him. That was the conversation of the day. Petaluma Blacks for Community Development was organized in 1978 to share Black history with the community and our children. Our group wanted to educate and share the many accomplishments that Afro-Americans made in America. Our mission statement: we exist to share Black history with our community, We do this through our annual Black History program, Black History exhibits, and other events we share with our community free of charge. Every year we do it. And last year we wind up, because of the pandemic, we had to do it virtually. But normally we have a lot of people from the whole Sonoma County come out to enjoy Black History Month, which is in February. Our group consists of any members in the community that wants to help and serve and be a part of our goals. Our values. Our values are these of uplifting all children, being positive role models, and showing the items that we feel to make our community better together. We would like our community to be better together. My famous quote from the founder of Black History Month, Carter G. Woodson: "If a race has no history, if it has no worthwhile tradition, it becomes a negligible factor in the thought of the world, and it stands in danger of being exterminated." Wow, that was one of the things that really made me get more involved with having Black history. Just imagine, if you had no history, if you don't know where you come from, how do you know where you're going? Thank you again for allowing me to be here this evening.
Thank you, Gloria. And we'd love to hear more from you, but I know we have a short time frame, but I'm really glad you could join us. The Petaluma Blacks for Community Development is an important organization, and I hope it continues for a long time.
Thank you.
So our next speaker is Alicia Sanchez. She comes to us from KBBF 89.1 FM radio, where she is president of the board. KBBF is the first bilingual radio station in the United States and hosts a varied program throughout the day, including Elaine's program, Women's Spaces. Alicia's family came to Santa Rosa in 1969. She retired after 30 years of union organizing, and her passion is social justice. Alicia, what else would you like us to know?
Yeah, thank you so very much for inviting me today. I wanted to say something. My father, it was I'm the oldest, the only girl, I guess the only daughter, and I have 5 brothers younger than me. And when I was very young, my father said to me, when I guess I was in my 20s or something, or teenager, but he said, "No man is more important than you are, except me." He said, "But one day I will not be important, And he said, "You are the key. You as a girl and a woman, you will become a woman. You will be the key." And he said, "But you also have to respect us, the male, even though he goes, sometimes just always remember you're key to all of this, and you're powerful and you're strong." So I grew up with a father who put that in me from the very beginning. And I have 5 brothers who, will tell you that I'm viewed as the key of the family. But I also had my mother, who I would come and be I would come home from organizing and being out in the community, and I always come home and say, "I'm not a good mother. I'm not a good wife," And my mother would say, "Oh my gosh, how can you say that? How can you say that?" And she would say, "The woman of today," she goes, "in my days, we used to just, take care of, be a wife and a mother, and and yes, a worker. But today," she goes, "the woman of today cares about other issues. You care more about the world. You care whether there's going to be nuclear war, whether there's poverty, whether, just the woman of today is such an incredible, wonderful woman. And you are one of them." So to me, it was so wonderful to finally, accept that, because I think sometimes as a women, it's like my father used to say too, that when we get tired, when we start getting doubting ourselves, when we have fear come on us, then he always used to say, when that comes on, always go forward, never go back. And I think that the women here that are present today with me are also what my mother used to say, that once in a while, we as women have to pat ourselves on and say, we've done a good job. We're doing good job. You are doing a good job, Eagles. Just believe that in yourself, that you are a powerful, wonderful woman, and there's so many women. And today I am with a whole group of powerful, wonderful women, all of you. And I also want to thank now for recognizing all of us here, all the women here, as powerful women that are doing a lot for the community. And I'm so glad that that I had parents who always put that forward to me, for me not to take and put doubt in me or a fear or just, but always recognizing that as women, we are powerful, we are incredible, and for us, I am so honored to be with all of you today on this very special day. And thank you so very much for making me part of this gathering today. Thank you.
Amen, Alicia. Your father was very smart.
Yes.
It's great that you had that support too. So for 20 years, Vesta Copestakes has published a community magazine, the Sonoma County Gazette, and website to give local residents a vehicle for connecting and participating in community life. Being proactive members of our collective family helps foster community and a sense of belonging. Her participation in this calendar was a way to honor women activists, as well as her good friend and Gazette columnist, Elaine B. Holtz. Vesta, we thank you for all of your energy and drive to produce the calendar.
Well, I have to start with Elaine, who is one among the few people who I've said, I have hundreds of acquaintances, maybe thousands across Sonoma County. And I said, there are some of them I want to have them become my friend now that I am retired, because being retired means I have time to have friends. And Elaine is one of them. And she's the one who called me up and said, Vesta, you got to help me. And it was so, of course, absolutely, whatever for Elaine, because Elaine is a leader. Elaine inspires. She inspires women. She inspires men. She really does understand the balance between males and females, which is essential to the future of our world. So I want to just kudos to Elaine. And then to the calendar, which to me was this essence of giving recognition. One of the things I learned in the Gazette is that people need recognition. Sometimes people say, no, don't wave a flag and let people know what I'm up to. But excuse me, I'll let somebody else in. But it became, I think it's really important to let people know that someone is doing something, because whenever you give recognition, you inspire someone else. And that's the important thing, to keep inspiring more people to come forth. One of the people I want to recognize here is Jill Ravitch, because one of the things that Jill did was she established the Family Justice Center. And I can't think of anything more personal and empowering to the females of Sonoma County than the Family Justice Center, because before Jill did this, there were something like 20 some odd agencies. So a woman was being beaten up by her boyfriend or her husband, and her kids were being abused. She had to go through such a maze to get something accomplished. And what Jill accomplished was the Family Justice Center. Man, this woman could walk through the door and have someone listen to her and give her recognition and respect, and then help her solve the problems. That just blows my mind, and it's a huge accomplishment for Sonoma County. I want to thank my dad too, because my dad was one of those people who believed in powerful, independent women. And just like Alicia was saying, to have a father who is a supporter of females really helps a woman. Men are still the dominant force, even though I don't consider them necessarily the leaders. The women are the ones who nurture the next generation. That is really powerful. Linda is an example of someone who is young and powerful, and we are learning from her that she can be a mother of 3 children, run a farm with baby goats, be compassionate and understanding, and still lead with an amazing integrity and intelligence. To that is just it's like an example that people will say use one or the other. Nuh-uh, she's doing both and she's showing us. The other day on, I think it was August 24th, Amna Nawaz, one of the journalists on PBS NewsHour, interviewed a young 23-year-old woman in Afghanistan who said she is staying. And the reason she is staying is because she is an activist for female rights. And it's an amazing interview. You've got to find it on pbsnewshour.org online. This young woman, she knows her life is at risk. She knows she has been public being an activist for females. She grew up in Afghanistan during the time when females had a voice and power and influence. So she knows nothing about what it's like to live under the rules of the Taliban. And yet she knows the fear because she's being taught by the women before her and the women around her who are going, gotta get out. She says, no, someone has to be here to help these women. And that's one of the most important things we can do right now as females, is to help these other women in Afghanistan and other countries that are being subjugated once more. It happens over and over and over again. And each time we come out more powerful. I really want to encourage everybody to support all the females of the entire planet. And I love that we support us in our world. We're pretty safe here, but the rest of the world is not. And we really, really need them in our world to be powerful and show everybody that it can be done. In my life, since I graduated high school in 1967, I was told that I could be a teacher, a nurse, a secretary, or a mother. And that was the limit, right? And yet, as an independent female, because I followed my dad's message, I was able to do anything I wanted to do. I became self-employed right away by the time I was 19. And one of the reasons for being self-employed is because my cousin Lucy, who happened to be a lesbian in a time when you couldn't even tell people you were a lesbian, she was always hitting the glass ceiling in the business that she was in insurance. And so she taught me, do not honor that glass ceiling. It is not real. Smash it. And I say to every female, smash that glass ceiling, smash your boundaries, do it in a kind way. And that's one of the things, like Molly was saying, when these movements first started, a lot of women dressed like men and acted like men. They were aggressive. And it was like somewhere along the line, things started to shift, because the most powerful human being on the face of the earth is a beautiful, intelligent woman. The beauty part, okay, not everybody's beautiful, but beauty attracts attention. So once you've established eye contact with somebody who was attracted to your beauty, then you open your mouth and out comes intelligent thoughts and feelings. Very important to communicate while you have someone's attention. So I just want to thank everybody who's involved in this project, everybody who's in now. The museum, the Sonoma County Museum that had the Centennial exhibit was emotionally powerful for me. I did an article in the Gazette about it because it was so powerful, going around and seeing and hearing the stories of all these women. Thank you, everybody who is part of the progress of females across the planet. It's essential. The work still needs to go on. I'm just incredibly grateful for everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for having me say what I want to say.
Thank you, Vesta. Sounds like you've had a wonderful life, and you certainly have done more than just be a teacher or a nurse They're important too, though. Our next speaker is Chicana Black, the Executive Director of the Peace and Justice Center of Sonoma County. She was originally hired as the center coordinator in 2015 and then promoted to her current role of this nonprofit organization in early 2020 before the pandemic hit. That certainly has been a challenging period, Chicana.
Yes, indeed it has. Well, thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Elaine, making sure that the Peace and Justice Center had a presence in the Now calendar. I still have it hanging up in my home, and I have it on the page where Elaine's on in December. She's there holding the banner in the Women's March, so thank you so much. The Peace and Justice Center has been a nonprofit in this community for 37 years, and I like to say it's a small but mighty organization built around networking, and it's really a resource for people. And so I'm really honored to be in this position. And shout out to Susan Lamont, who's on this Zoom call, who was my predecessor, and I have a great deal of respect. And I knew that I had to fill some really big shoes when I got offered the position. I just want to quickly read the
vision statement rather than the mission statement. It's on our website, which is pjcsoco.org, or you can just look up Peace and Justice Center of Sonoma County. So this is the vision statement. The Peace and Justice Center of Sonoma County envisions a world of peace and justice where differences are respected, conflicts are addressed nonviolently, oppressive structures are dismantled, and people live in harmony with the earth and one another. With everything going on, you know, with what's going on in Haiti, which kind of got put to the bottom of the news cycle because of what's going on in Afghanistan. And thank you, Vesta, for speaking to that, and all the women. My heart's just aching, but I know I'm not the only one who's aching. I just also want to give a shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who we should all have ultimate respect for. And Ruth was once, Ms. Ginsburg was once asked, how many members of the Supreme Court do you think should be female? And she said, all of them, right? Because she said they've all been men. And so we've only had a handful of great and dynamic women on that. And I think that needs to go down to all the way to our Board of Supervisors, just saying, you know, why not? Why can't we have all women? And see how the shift happens from there. So that's my little soapbox part. And then I just want to let people know the Peace and Justice Center, we are reopening after, 18 months, officially reopening. We've been really quiet. What we took on in 2020 and 2021 is helping homeless folks. So we would, my colleagues, Adriana and Rebel, especially at the Peace and Justice Center, would collect items. Tents were like gold, but clothing, toiletries, etc. And then Rebel and Adriana once a week would go out and deliver them to encampments. And then it became harder and harder because the encampments kept getting swept by law enforcement. I just got to say it. I just find that such a vile term, but that's what was going on. We do hope to come back. We will come back in the winter, offering that same kind of they both called it a Band-Aid, but it's better than no Band-Aid at all, right? So that will happen. So I want to invite everyone on September 14th to our grand reopening. It will be in our parking lot, where we're hoping people will wear masks just out of consideration for what's going on. And it's more of a mixer and not a sit down thing. My partner, DJ Loisada, DJ Loisada will be playing some music, kind of just to get people back into like, what is it like to see people eyeball to eyeball rather than on Zoom. So we really hope people will come out. It's from 4 to 6, and we'll be giving away some non-alcoholic beverages, but we're not doing appetizers or anything because of the pandemic. So that's September 14th. Also really important for us is on November 13th, we will be doing an online event, which is our annual Peace and Justice Center Awards. We didn't do one in 2020 because of the pandemic. This will be the first time online. We are asking community members to nominate one another, and there are 5 categories. Please go to the website to look at those categories. You can nominate in all or none or one, but we really take that input about who is being nominated and then, honoring them at this event. So that deadline, why it's so crucial, is coming up on Tuesday, August 31st. So if you go on our website, pjcsoco.org, there's a really easy form, online form. You just answer the 6 questions and then submit it, and then that will go to the board and a decision will be made, and we'll be announcing that in our next Peace Press that will come out in October, November. It'll be the October, November issue. And I love what Molly McGregor said. What do you mean by that? I just wrote that down because I like that as a rebuttal to people saying things that maybe we don't agree with, and that might make myself become livid. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna take a moment and say, what do you mean by that? So thank you, Molly. Much respect for everything you've done for our community. And then to everyone, happy Women's Equality Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Chicana. Thank you for the work that you and the Peace and Justice Center do for our community. Thank you for promoting NOW in your newsletters too. We really appreciate that. All right, so Debbie Mckay, the immediate past president of the League of Women Voters, has been another supporter of the Sonoma County NOW chapter and of our calendar. She is also the former chair of the League's Outreach Committee, where she taught over 60 local community members how to register citizens to vote. Wait a minute, I read that, didn't I? No, I didn't. She is a lifelong resident of Sonoma County and has always been active in the community. Debbie, what would you like to say tonight?
Well, the League of Women Voters was very honored to be selected to be a part of the Now calendar. And our page was February because we were also celebrating our 100th birthday. So the League really came out of the suffrage movement. And the calendar, I think, was an important vehicle to acknowledge the many women who have blazed the trail for us. You know, we're a long line of women in history, and we need to mentor the new people coming up. We need to be way showers for the young people. And we need to share our history with them because a lot of women's history is still not a general knowledge. The women wanted the vote, not just to be able to vote. A vote is a tool. The vote is a tool to elect representatives that will enact laws and promote equality and better living and working conditions for all of us. And I really echo what Lynn Woolsey said about it being so important to make the vote available to everyone. And it's so important to save our democracy right now, because I think our democracy is in jeopardy. And so the League today is still devoted to voter registration and education. I mean, you'd think at some point our work would be done, but it's not. And I think the vote is even more in jeopardy than it's been in the last 100 years. I mean, there's so many pending pieces of legislation wanting to take the vote away from people and disenfranchise people. So that's a big goal of ours, is to do education. And many of the citizens in Sonoma County depend on the League for impartial information. We're nonpartisan. We do nonpartisan candidate forums. We do our pros and cons forums on ballot measures. We have our Voters Edge website with in-depth voter information. So we're all about education and activism. We're a completely volunteer organization. And we have a lot of men who are in our organization and support what we do. We call ourselves the League of Women Voters, and that's just because historically that's who we were. But we're really welcoming to anybody who wants to work towards educating voters and supporting voters. So we invite any of you who are interested in supporting free and fair elections to get involved in making those a priority in our community and in our nation. If you want more information about the League, we have a great website you can go to at www.lwvsonoma.org for more information. And I think it's just really important that we celebrate the work that we have done in this community. I mean, we have done so much to make this community a better place to live. There's the Women's Justice Center that was given as an example. Well, there's tons of examples like that of how we've made this community a better place. And I think we all need to be really proud of the work that we've done and gather inspiration from each other. I mean, you are all such dynamic powerhouse women, and you have given so much to this community. And, you know, giving that enriches all of us. We're all better people because of what we've done. And we work tirelessly for our community, but I think that fills our hearts. It fills our hearts with joy and pride. It feeds us. Giving to the community feeds us. And so continue, please continue our work. It's never done. There's always something new to do. But if we stick together and if we support each other and look to each other for ideas and for inspiration, we can continue to do this important work. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue to do everything possible to make our community a dynamic, wonderful place to live and to secure our democracy and to exercise our power. We have tremendous power as women. We bring life into this world. If that isn't power, I don't know what is. And we need to recognize the power that we all have to make a difference and inspire others to make a difference. I think by us stepping forward and being vocal and speaking our truth and speaking truth to power, that inspires other people. That makes them maybe take that tiny step and then that next tiny step and then that next tiny step to make a difference in the community. So I applaud all of you. I am in the company of wonderful, amazing women, and I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your being here. The League of Women Voters has done an incredible job over the last 100 years, and it looks like you're going to have more, and that we all need help with that. So Kathleen Riley Bennett from the American Association of University Women, Santa Rosa chapter, is the public policy chair there. She's our next speaker. She's had an eventful and successful career in the publishing and media field. She enriched the education of students in a number of public schools in Ohio and also here in Orinda. Since moving to Windsor, she and her husband have become booksellers, forming Windsor First Editions. Kathleen, I know you had a role to play in the success of our calendar too, and that help is much appreciated. What would you like our members to know tonight?
Well, you asked us to speak on a topic, so I did choose the topic equal pay, and I'll try to be brief. But I would first like to thank Elaine Holtz for including AAUW in this broadcast, our live stream. And I would like to tell you just a little bit more about the American Association of University Women and their presence in Sonoma County. There are 2 chapters of AAUW, and that's that I'm aware of at the moment, and that's the Healdsburg chapter and the Santa Rosa chapter. Both chapters have participated in equal pay events. We've put on events to point out that women have to work perhaps a month or two for free compared to men and their salaries. But before I get into all of that, I do want to thank my president, Kathy Harkness, who was a wonderful supporter during the 7 years that I was public policy chair. And I do need to point out that I'm no longer public policy chair. I did step back from that, although I was part of the calendar. So following my term as public policy chair was Pam Chafin, and she did a wonderful job with the Women's Tea in 2021. We publicize our events, and we love to have people join us for all of our public policy events. They're intended to educate the public. That's why we put them on. And the current public policy chair in Santa Rosa is Ty Worley, who was our last president. What do I want to say now? Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Amy, because I did feel that I was an unknown. As I looked at everyone's credentials today in the agenda, I was very impressed. It's been wonderful to be part of this and to hear everyone's personal stories and enthusiasm. It's just great to have the privilege of being part of this today. I do want to just use some notes that I've created from the AAUW national website. Anyone can access that website. And when they talk about equal pay for women, the first thing that website tells us is that economic security for women is non-negotiable. It is very important for women to be able to be secure in their homes and in their lives. And money is power, and that gives women the power to be able to provide for themselves and their children and their husbands. The statistics that I came across point out that 47% of the workforce and as many as 2/3 of the women in the United States are the primary or co-breadwinners of their families. So we really all are working now for money, since we've received the right to vote and the right to participate fully in society. The website does point out that women are still paid less, and women's work in particular draws less pay. Childcare workers in the United States, about 92% of them are women, and they have a median earnings income of $26,000 a year, while men in construction have a median income of $37,000 a year. the same qualifications are probably required of both people, but you can see that there's a real disparity still for women in the United States. The other thing that affects women when we're working and trying to achieve equal pay is that sexual harassment is occurring on when you're in men's fields. I was in education for the most part, and when I was working in offices, I did not experience this, thankfully, but certainly the Me Too movement has shown us how we can be intimidated at work, become unable to do our work, perhaps withdraw from work and not get promotions that we deserve because we've been intimidated in this manner. So it's important to acknowledge that. There's also a motherhood penalty we need to remember when we have our children. About 71% of women with children are working, but they're working from home. And this can be difficult by the time, to coordinate both. So there is a motherhood penalty. And the website does address the future of work for women. And of course, COVID has affected all of us. Mothers are working from home much more simply because of COVID. But and certainly there's new models for the workplace, which is telecommuting, which many women are doing now, and the gig economy, which is driving for Uber or shopping. All of these things are gender flexible, but the downside is that there's greater competition for these roles. There's many people who want to be part of the gig economy. So it's hard for women to compete in that area. And this was surprising to me. The website did say that research suggests that women are 50% of the workers who are at the highest risk of losing their jobs to technology. That surprises me. Perhaps we could look at that more in the future. I do want to point out that AUW, the American Association for University Women, will help you negotiate your salary. If you're in a position where you have to go in and ask for a salary, which is what happens when you're not part of systems like my educational system or a union shop, they will help you negotiate your salary. So if you ever want to make use of that, please, you're welcome to use our resources. And we have specific steps that you can use to guide you as you're negotiating your salary. So pass that on to your daughters who might be looking for jobs. In closing, I just want to say thank you once again for including me in this, a powerful group of movers and shakers for the area of Sonoma County. With that, I'm going to say good night.
Kathleen, thank you so much. And definitely you belong in this group of incredible women. So yes, and thank you for those very sobering statistics. It's good to hear that, although, yeah.
We do need to remember that we still need to address these things and we can't take things for granted.
Right, absolutely. So thank you. Now, our final speaker scheduled for tonight is Paula Freund, who is the curator of the Petaluma Historical Library and Museum. She curated, along with Catherine Reinhardt, shout out to Catherine, I think she's watching on Facebook. They curated together a woman suffrage exhibit specifically about Petaluma's participation in the suffrage movement. In the course of research, they discovered that the community's contribution was indeed significant. This exhibit is dedicated to two Petalumans who you may have heard of. The first is Lynn Woolsey, and the second is Helen Putnam. Paula, what else would you like us to know?
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. I am truly honored to be included among such a group of women who've spent so many years of their life dedicated to public service. I'm honored. Thank you so very much. I was inspired to begin with by my co-curator, Catherine Reinhardt. At the time, back in 2019, she was the manager of the Sonoma County Library Genealogy and Historical Division of the Sonoma County Library. She put out a clarion call to all Sonoma County's historical institutions and said, what are you doing to celebrate the commemoration, the centennial of the commemoration of the ratification of the 19th Amendment? Thanks to her inspiration, thanks to her giving us all a little push, many activities, lectures, plays happened in Sonoma County. And I couldn't begin to list them all, but previously was mentioned Eric Stanley and his staff's wonderful exhibit at the Museum of Sonoma County entitled From Suffrage to Me Too, really pulling in the history of the suffrage movement up to date into what's happening in our world today. Also, another wonderful exhibit that happened in Sonoma County was Mary Dodgian's exhibit at the West County Museum up in West County. A lot of this research, I mean, thanks to the National Women's History Alliance encouraging women scholars and encouraging women's history, how exciting. These three institutions that put on these exhibits research deeply into their own local community to find more information about the suffragists in their community. And we dug up wonderful information. And I don't mean to brag, but the suffrage exhibit is the finest one I've ever put on at the Petaluma Museum, thanks in part to the fabulous information having to do with the early Petaluma pioneer gals and men who worked so hard to move the suffrage movement forward. That exhibit comes down. I have to give the exhibit a little bit of a plug here. It comes down on this Sunday, and I will give my last gallery tour on Saturday at 2 o'clock. So if you're free at that time, come join us. I want to also thank Elaine Holtz. She had Catherine and me on her radio show very early on before the exhibit was opened to really give a shout out to the exhibits in the area and to acknowledge the Centennial. The exhibit was dedicated, it sounds kind of silly, but I was honored to dedicate the exhibit to Lynn Woolsey, my fellow Petaluman. You know, I dedicated it to her because of not her years, but her decades of service, of public service. And as I researched the breadth of her contributions, I came to discover her very inspirational speech, which she gave to Congress at the silver 75th anniversary of the commemoration of the event, of the ratification of the amendment. And it was highly inspirational. And I think it's really important to know that here we are gathering 25 years after she gave that speech all together here and celebrating the right to vote. And I'm sorry for me acting like such a historian, but I just have to reflect on the thought that we are continuing that wonderful tradition. I don't know what you mean by, and I am sorry for me acting like such a historian, but I just have to reflect on the thought that we are. Oh my, how about a web search?
You're muted, Paula.
I apologize. My computer did some glitchy thing at my final sentence, forgive me. And what I wanted to say was we, all of us together working the way we are reflecting the determination and the fortitude in those wonderful pioneer women that I studied and those wonderful early suffragists who moved themselves forward and their daughters forward. And to see all of you powerful women together reminds me of what they did. And I'm grateful for that.
Thank you, Paula. Now I have a question about your exhibit. Is it still going on until this Sunday?
This Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be in there at 3:45 when the museum closes, and I'll be taking artifacts off the wall.
So if you want to see it.
Right, and Sunday, and then Saturday, I will give my last gallery tour at 2.
Okay, so rush on down if you haven't seen it. And I'm guilty of that too. So we'll make sure that we promote your exhibits more on our Facebook page. Thank you. Definitely. And thank you all for speaking. At this point, we didn't know if the meeting would go for longer than 7:30. We scheduled it till 8. I've talked to the speakers, and if there's anybody in the audience who wants to talk, then I'll unmute you. But I want to say first, I noticed that Susan Lamont is present. And Susan, we'd love to have you say a few words since we couldn't get you as a speaker this time. But we'd love to hear more about the photo that you have in the calendar that belonged to your grandmother. So are you interested in being able to talk with us?
Yeah, it's my great-grandmother.
Your great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother. Her name was Isabel Campbell Schindler. She was the suffragist, and she was a protege of Carrie Chapman Catt. And she spoke and wrote all over New England, the Northeast, and in Ohio, which was her home state. And New York City actually had a suffrage cafe, and my great-grandfather's journals have a notation, lunch with Carrie Chapman Catt at the suffrage cafe. You know, I don't remember the date, but she did all this speaking and writing, and yet I have only found one piece of her writing, which was a letter to a newspaper in New York City where she was living at the time. But the interesting thing about it for this particular gathering is that it was about California. And she was writing before the 19th Amendment was passed, and she was writing to say that California had given women the vote already, and she wanted everyone to know what a difference that had made for women and children in California. And so her letter listed all the advances that had been made for women and children in just it was like 2 or 3 years, very short period of time, that women had gotten the vote there. So it shows you how fundamental having the vote for women is. So her daughters were all feminists. My mother was a feminist. I'm a feminist. It's lovely to have been raised by a feminist in the 50s, when none of my friends was being raised that way. And I'm very proud to, obviously I didn't know her. She actually died before my mother was born. My mother didn't know her. But it's been very important in my family to have her as an ancestor, and also her husband, my great-grandfather, he was a socialist, and also an influential writer and speaker all over the country. I have lots of stuff that he's written, but it's too bad I don't have her writings. I do have her Votes for Women's sash though, and her activism actually came from her mother, my great-great-grandmother, who was in the temperance movement and the abolition movement. So it's a wonderful heritage to have, and I'm glad to be able to connect it a little bit to California for this event. And I appreciate that Elaine did so much to make sure that picture got shown of her marching with her women colleagues. I don't have a date for it though. There's no date on the picture, but Elaine got us at the Board of Supervisors with that picture, and it ended up in the Press Democrat too. So it was wonderful. So thank you, Elaine, and thanks for letting me speak. It's wonderful.
Sure.
Good evening,
everyone.
Yeah, we're glad you came, because I was sorry that you didn't get in the group, but glad you made it. And I wanted to show, I don't know, no, my background won't let me. I was going to show the photo, but that's all right. We'll have to do it another time. We do have more copies of this calendar printed. We have 6 more that have been copied, and if we have a huge demand, I suppose we can copy more. So we'll just make sure. And and you look familiar too, and I keep thinking, but you're muted again, Susan. Who was that on the side that I should recognize?
Oh, that's Lilith Rogers.
That's right. Sorry, Lilith. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I got to be out here.
Yeah, we're sitting in my backyard.
That's a great place to be. Great place to be.
Yeah.
All right.
I was really it's wonderful to hear from everyone, and so many of these organizations and people like Lynn Woolsey and so forth, and the Peace and Justice Center I've been a part of too, and I really appreciate how all these women have just pulled us forward and kept us going. Yes. And the Women's History Project. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Well, I've certainly learned a lot, and I've only been in the Sonoma chapter of NOW. I've only really been in NOW for about 8 months or 10, and I only became president in July, so I'm really a newbie. And I'm stunned by everything that I've learned, and really everybody who's spoken tonight I've learned from, and has such a massive impact, not only on our county, but it's much more national than that. I mean, think of Molly McGregor, think of Lynn Woolsey, think of, I mean, there's so many, and it's a real treat to be part of this organization. So thank you all. I would like to say also that there were others besides Susan who couldn't really be part of the group tonight. Shirley Zane really wanted to, but she went on vacation, and she will be our guest speaker in September. And we haven't settled on a date yet. It was normally going to be on September 16th, but that's a high holy day. It's Yom Kippur, and that didn't seem like the right day to be on, so we're moving it. But when we get that, we'll promote it. And wanted to make sure that she was honored, that Shirley was remembered. And Nancy Rogers also, we wanted her to speak, but I see she wasn't in the group as well, and I think she's already left for the night, so we'll have to wait. There's so many others. We couldn't invite everybody, though we tried. Jeannie Schultz would have been great to get and to talk about Lucy, and to thank her for for loaning us Lucy. That was great. So we can now open the group up to a Q&A. We'll leave everybody muted who's not a speaker, but if you would do a chat, that will be easier for us. And if you have a specific person in mind that you want to speak with, put that in the chat as well. We're both monitoring that, and then I'll call on the speakers. So let's see. June, do we have anyone in particular that we should ask?
Well, Dusty had raised her hand. No one on chat yet.
I want to show the picture of Susan's. Can everybody see it?
Oh.
It's
kind of small though, Elaine, unfortunately.
I wanted to, it's not possible. And
yeah,
I also wanted to say a few words to thank Paula for the 6 calendars that we have, and Paula Freund donated it to us. Thank you, Paula. And also that Lilith Rogers was on. She does a one-woman play with Rachel Carson that we have had as a special event, and it's just fabulous, and it's somebody to consider if you want to do an event. She just does a great job. We ran a film. It was just amazing. I just wanted to say that.
Thanks, Elaine. Dusty, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to unmute, and then you can ask your question.
I want to thank everybody, first of all. And I'm so sad that I had to be really late. It's unfortunate, but it had to happen. So I'm so glad there's a recording so I can hear everybody. And then in the chat, I wrote, because I didn't get to hear what Jill Ravitch was saying when she had spoken. And she, where did I put it? Because I think some people were trying to answer it. So Jill Ravitch in the chat wrote something that I didn't understand what she meant. She wrote story up that BG, and she wrote BG in capital letters, put more money in, and is at 1.7 capital M. I think she means probably $1.7 million. I'm not sure what BG means.
Bill Gallagher, I think, is the person who's been who's been heading up this recall.
Yeah, I know about that. Thank you. And so now I understand. That's what I thought she meant, something like that. But thank you so much to everybody. I really appreciate you all. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions that are burning for you?
I just wanted to say something. I couldn't figure out how to put the little hand up. I don't know. I used to have a button for it, but now I don't see it anymore. But anyway, I'm talking now. I'm very grateful for all of you coming tonight, and I just wanted to say something about appreciation for now itself. Now, like so many progressive organizations, is always struggling, and we're struggling more than ever lately for all the reasons that all the rest of them are struggling. But I just wanted to point out how wonderful it is that all these people who are doing so much work in their given organizations now is the only one that I know of that maybe the Democrats as well, but now brings us all together. If it's women and girls, then now is interested in helping. And we had this particular occasion that was the 19th Amendment anniversary, but we don't, I just wanted to point out that now can use more participation throughout the year. And that doesn't mean that you have to like come to meetings and everything, but just participation in every possible way that you think, will help build us and keep us strong, so that when some big thing happens, we can mobilize all the women and we can speak, with a voice, because we're the only group that really brings all women together in this country. And of course, there's a lot of international work as well. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. And it was pointed out to me on our Facebook page today, a comment that one of our attendees who might still be here, I don't see her today, said that we should consider that it's not just women. It's also, we've got different gender identities. So we need to be aware that when we say women, we are also talking about transgender women as well as others. And really the underprivileged, the oppressed, while we say we're the Sonoma County, we say we're the National Organization for Women, that was a term that was used, 50, 60 years ago. And it really is more inclusive. We are more inclusive than that as an organization. So just want to make sure. Paula, you had your hand up?
Yes, please. I just, women and men also. Maybe you all can see the photo of Carl Tenenbaum in the bottom of your screen. He has a yellow rose pinned to his lapel.
Ah, yes.
That is the sign of a man who supports women's suffrage.
Well, thank you, Carl.
To point out to the ladies here that we have a gentleman here supporting us, and he's got his yellow rose on his lapel. That's beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Tenenbaum.
Yes, thank you very much. And I apologize for not noticing that earlier. So it's good to have the support of anyone, really. So if there aren't any other questions, I want to mention, Elaine mentioned to me that Mary Norman is here all the way from Oregon. And thank you very much for joining us tonight. If you need to speak, I'll ask you to unmute.
Yes, of course, I need to tell you that I lived in Santa Rosa with my husband for 40 years. And I worked at Santa Rosa Junior College with the English as a second language department, where Marty Estrin did a wonderful job with the workers who are coming up from the border. And I'm up here. I've been in Eugene for 7 years. I came up because my granddaughters needed me, and we bought a house. But we lived in Oakmont. We rented in 20 years in Santa Rosa. Just to say, I was there for the Andy Lopez tragedy, and I was part of the Women in White. And I just wanted to say, I haven't really connected with a women's organization up here in Eugene, but I feel very inspired to be part of this talk tonight, because really solidarity among women is incredibly inspiring. And I feel inspired by all of you. Thank you for inviting me, Elaine.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Elaine, for mentioning that. Celeste, I've just asked you to unmute.
Great. Hi.
Hi.
Good to be here, and it's empowering to be here with all these powerful women. Thank you so much. Now, I wanted to just mention, when I was in Iowa on vacation in July, my best friend took me to a play, her and her daughter, my niece, and it was called The Suffrages. And that was this is in Iowa, Cedar Falls, Iowa. So I want us to know that there is activism and there is a lot of attention right now going to the suffragists, for good reason. Certainly because our voting rights are being, trampled on right now in this country. What I did really get was just the struggle that the suffragists went through back there in the beginning of this movement, and just how awful the persecution and the physical violence that they experienced because of their drive and their commitment to suffrage. So we're on board, and there was some discord among African Black women during that time and white women's suffrage. I have to mention that because there was some some differences of feeling a part of and included. And there had to be some negotiations with that and some work that needed to be done. So just in that spirit, and in the spirit of being united with women and women's movement, as I have been in this county and in other communities, I just wanted to say a little something. So thank you so much.
Glad you did, Celeste, and thank you for all the work you've done with the living room.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm now at another organization, Interfaith Shelter Network, and I've been at many organizations. It's my passion, it's my work, and as we know, just the disparity that takes place among people of color, as well as people with various incomes, abilities, etc. So, we just continue the good fight always.
All right. Is there anyone else that has a question or wants to say something? Dusty, you have your hand up again.
Thank you. Yeah. And again, I'm sorry that I'm so late. I really am. But I'm so glad there's a recording. And I don't know that anybody's spoken about this before, but I'm aware that a lot of people are confused about the ballots for the various recalls. And most likely we're all probably going to vote no on the various recalls, the two recalls, the one for the governor and also for Jill Ravitch. But it's also really important to decide who you're going to vote for, if necessary, if the recall wins. And I see Vesta nodding her head strongly. I'm sorry, I can't be on camera right now, but because I'm trying not to be too political with sides, okay? But let me put it this way. The people who would be against now are National Organization for Women and Women's Rights and things like that. They're very well organized and rallying around their candidates. So if we progressives do not rally around one candidate, and there's like more than 40 of them, okay, for the and I'm talking about the governor's one right now. And I've looked at all of their websites, including their personal websites, which one person looked pretty good. And then I went to his personal website, and all it was about was selling guns, a whole different thing. So I will say after, and I think that the people that I'm going to recommend could win. That's the other thing, which I hate to put it that way, but it's the truth, right? We got to think about that. So who I recommend for the, if there's a replacement needed for Newsom, is Joel, Joel, Ventresca, V like Valentine. So if we can rally around him, I think he can actually win. And then there's a new candidate for replacement if Jill Ravitch's recall, if it's necessary, who's very progressive, and there's hardly anybody who's even running for that. And that is Omar Figueroa, and I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but Omar, OmarFigueroa. I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. So please spread the word, because the anti-woman kind of people are definitely rallying behind their candidates. And if you wrote in Newsom's name, it's lawfully he cannot even run because he can't be his own replacement. I mean, I could go on about this for a while. There's
right. Thank you, Dusty. We appreciate that. And it's true. You do need to vote. And make sure you look on both sides of the ballot, because the first side is for governor and the second side is certainly for Jill. And then for those of us in Rohnert Park, we even have a third thing. We have to vote for or against the ban on fireworks. So don't forget about that if you're in that area. All right, we've come to the end of our evening. I want to thank you all again. It's been wonderful. Elaine, you had one more word?
I just had one more thing. I want to encourage you to go on to Women's Spaces, www.womenspaces, and look at the August, www.womenspaces.com, and look at the August lineup. There'll be an article in the Gazette that's going to line up who we presented. We had Lynn Woolsey on one time. We had a woman talking about the divine feminism, and also Molly Murphy McGregor. And this Monday, I'm very proud to announce that we're going to have Joyce, I can never remember her last name. She's known as Earth Mama. She wrote the song Standing on the Shoulders, and that song was actually elected as one of the theme songs for the 2020 celebration. And she's going to talk about her music. And so I encourage you to please tune in. And the call letters are 89.1 FM. And you can also stream it at www.kbbf.org. And also I want to remind you that KBBF has 2 women's shows. We also have a women's show that is in bilingual, English and Spanish. Alicia, you want to tell us the name so I don't pronounce it wrong?
Yeah, it's Voces de Mujeres, which is women's voices.
Right.
Voces de Mujeres.
Right, and it's on Saturday.
Yes, at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. So, and they're a bilingual. They do both English and Spanish. Mine is just straight English. And so and you can also stream, like I said, on www.kbbf.org. So I really encourage you. This month has been very strong. And as a last statement, there's 2 things that I would really encourage you also to do. Is number 1, become a member of NOW. Join, support it, let us know. We're very powerful in numbers, and also support your local radio stations. They are very, very important, and they're going to be more and more important as time goes on. So thank you very much, Amy, for letting me have this time, my love.
Sure. And I just want to say one last note. If you want a calendar or anything else, you have any other questions, please go to info@nowsonoma.org. And otherwise, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Hope to see you in September. Bye-bye all.